In the first scene of Spice and Wolf, Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf episode 11, Nora is meeting somewhere with Lawrence, Hollow, and a man named Martin from the Remerio Trading Company, RTC. They all gather and then depart for Lamtrot. Martin gets irritated when Nora later recommends they take a nap. Martin is informed by Lawrence and Hollow of the advantages of taking a break for both Nora and themselves. Then, early in the morning, Hollow and the others stroll through a forest. If wolves show there, Hollow swears to keep Lawrence and the others safe. Enoch, Nora's dog, darts by Lawrence and Hollow to watch after the sheep. Hollow informs Lawrence that Enoch is aware of her wolf identity and is wise. Lawrence expresses concern for Nora at the same time, asking whether she knows what will happen if things don't work out for them. To ease Lawrence's worries about Nora, Hollow orders him to keep her safe at all costs. At night, Lawrence and the others discuss their intentions in brief and make an effort to get some sleep. But as Hollow awakens, he notices a bunch of wolves not far away. This encourages Enoch to defend the sheep and prompts Nora to sound her horn. To let Martin know about the wolves, Nora wakes him up. Luckily, there are no wolves in sight, but Hollow cautions everyone that there may be a more serious danger hiding in the forest. In the morning, Martin leaves the group. He intends to speak with the Lamtrot staff in order to negotiate. Lawrence, Hollow, and Nora are sleeping someplace. Nora probes Hollow about her impression of Lawrence, her familiarity with wolves, and other topics. Then Hollow mentions in jest that maybe Enoch is in love with her. With a laugh, Nora says she'll watch Enoch. In addition, Nora states that she intends to give up her work as a shepherd in the future, regardless of achievement. Martin reappears later, carrying a sack of riches. He proposes that they start the next phase of their plan right away. But because it's late, Lawrence urges they get some sleep for the night. The group decides to go via the woodland. Unfortunately, when it's raining, a group of wolves pursues them. Enoch and Nora use amazing strategies to keep the wolves at bay. Hollow is amazed at how well Nora and Enoch work together. All of a sudden, Hollow and Lawrence are surrounded by wolves. With a frightening gaze, Hollow commands the wolves to retreat. The wolves retreat into the forest after yielding. Hollow tells Lawrence to tell Nora and Martin to proceed as they are riding their horse. To address the greater menace in the forest, Hollow intends to disengage from the group. She informs Lawrence that the large wolf desires a battle. Martin and Nora are instructed to go to Reuvenhagen by Lawrence. Hollow assures them that she will meet them there with Lawrence. Martin and Nora head out. Hollow orders Lawrence to go, saying she would rather not worry about him. She wants to work with the large wolf to find a peaceful solution to this mess. After giving Lawrence her coat, Hollow enters the forest to face the large wolf. The huge wolf is made fun of by Hollow for his ignorance, and he makes plans to discipline him. Lawrence later makes his way into the woodland to build a campfire. In the forest, Lawrence hears multiple males strolling around. The men inform Lawrence that they are going into the jungle to find Martin and Hollow. After guiding the men to his tent, Lawrence informs them that Hollow isn't with him. Lawrence discovers the RTC is betraying them when the men attack him. The men inform Lawrence that the RTC needs to get rid of any threats to their business. The men also talk about wanting to enrage Lawrence by doing something evil to Nora. The men continue their discussion about murder while beating Lawrence to the ground. However, they tie Lawrence up and decide to reunite with Martin. Lawrence sobs as the show comes to an end, thinking of Hollow's passing. The review of the episode. In the latest episode of Spice and Wolf, Merchant meets the wise wolf, Hollow, Lawrence, and Nora carry out their plot to smuggle riches. In addition, Martin shows up, and it turns out that he is just as sleazy as the other merchants Lawrence and Hollow have dealt with thus far. The number of betrayals that have happened in this series since it began in April is proof that it's not just one thing. Some fans may start to question whether the story's somewhat cliched and predictable merchant betrayal antics have become too commonplace. With any lucky, the next tale arc will surprise readers by providing an arc in which the plot point is absent from the story. In the meantime, we have little doubt that the showrunners will get revenge on Mr. Remirio and his henchmen once Lawrence and Hollow figure out how to get back to Reuvenhagen. Speaking about Hollow, she will probably win her fight against the big, young wolf. She might be seriously hurt when she returns from the fight, though. Given that Hollow will need to assist Lawrence, hopefully she avoids taking too much damage throughout the combat. This was a fun chapter of the series, and we had some cute conversation with our characters. A couple parts seemed hurried, and certain scenes lacked striking visuals. The charm of the show is still present, though. Overall, we're hopeful that our heroes will have a happy ending in the upcoming episode.